Good evening.
Hey, Ben.
Can I get a good evening, Ben? Good evening. Thank you very much. Just want to make sure everyone was still awake. As always, thank you for your service on the Roosevelt Island Residents Association. All of you are here voluntarily, giving up your time. Often it's like a second job or second and third job, but all of you invest so much, and that's why Roosevelt Island is such a great community. I wanted to recognize Rick and Roosevelt Island Blog for being here and for covering, as well as The Wire. The rest of the East Side really doesn't have local news in the same way that Roosevelt Island does, so just want to thank our fourth estate here. Look forward to working with you, making sure that our residents know what they need to, and making sure that we keep our government in check. I want to introduce you to somebody that you guys have known a lot longer than you've known me. I'd like to introduce Joe Strong, who is going to be our liaison for Roosevelt Island. He's stepped down from Roosevelt Island Residents Association. We didn't feel it would be appropriate for him to be taking votes on things where I may not have an opinion. And I know there's a lot of different things, and you have, and sometimes we all agree, sometimes we disagree. So Joe's still going to be at all these meetings. He will still be here to close up and fold up the tables, but I had a commitment to making sure that I brought a Roosevelt Islander onto my staff, and he's with us, and he's also going to be managing our intern program. If you know anyone who needs an internship, he's your guy. And having him on board means that I have a front row seat, and I have somebody who's dealing with the morning commute and the evening commute every day, and make sure that I know about what's going on when the train isn't running and when the tram isn't running. And that's important because it gives me a lot of steam from the beginning. So if we could just give Joe a quick round of applause. Our city council office is open. It was open on New Year's Day. It's on 244 East 93rd Street on 2nd Avenue. 244 East 93rd Street. The reason we moved was because it was affordable, and Joe walked every single block on the Upper East Side, Midtown East, Roosevelt Island, looking for an affordable office space, and this is one that we found. Jessica's number will continue start forwarding to us tomorrow, but we have another number just until then, which is 212-860-1950. 212-860-1950. All of you should have invitations to our inauguration. We're really hoping to profile our entire community. I'll be working with certain members of your community to see if we can find a meaningful way for all of you to participate. It's January 26th at noon. We will have Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. We'll have New York State Controller Tom DiNapoli. I believe we have confirmations from former council member Jessica Lappin, former Assembly member Jonathan Bing, State Senator Liz Kruger, Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. It's going to be a star-studded lineup, and I'd love to have all of you there. The site is going to be ADA accessible. It's the 92nd Street Y, so we hope to have you there, and there will be light refreshments afterwards. I wouldn't be here without Roosevelt Island, but we have an overwhelming victory here, and you are the heart of the district, in addition to being one of the more important tourist attractions in the district. People are coming here in huge numbers because of a lot of the programs you put on. Whether it's the movie nights or the Cherry Blossom Festival or you name it, you guys are a real neighborhood and an example for the rest of the city. So I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me get here, and just know that I'll be doing everything I can to help and support you. Some of the things that we've already started working on is City Bike. So City Bike will eventually be rolling out to the Upper East Side. I see I'm probably going too long, so I'll try to rush it. City Bike is going to be rolled out in the next phase. I'd like to make sure that Roosevelt Island is included. That's a resolution we passed together, one of the first things we did together. We have a new mayor. That mayor actually has a Roosevelt Islander on their staff as well. Alana Leopold, and so hopefully we can sit down with the mayor and tell him about the little pocket of democracy we've created here, and ask him to make sure that his appointments are elected by residents. So we're hoping to sit down with him and invite him here and go over that before he makes any new appointments, and we're hoping that the Leopolds can help us with that. In terms of parks, want to make sure we have more parks for both adults and children. And transportation, we're actually going to be trying to sit down with the MTA and the transportation workers, trying to figure out how we can improve transportation access. And we're really thrilled about the East River Ferry access that's moving forward. Roosevelt Island is a part of that plan. So we're happy to be here. And does anyone have any questions for me or things that you need? So her daughter works with the next mayor, our current mayor, Bill de Blasio.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Hi, so my question is, there was a story in the blog the other day about the sidewalk, the kind of tile sidewalk in front of the train station, that nobody has shoveled it, neither the TA nor RIRA. And a photographer from, I think, the Daily News station was out there and actually was photographing unfortunate residents tumbling, falling, which is really dangerous. It wasn't meant as a humorous thing, it was just to document what are the results of the icy sidewalk. And so the question is, who do we ask to get that sidewalk, either put sand down or salt or shovel? Because nobody is doing it, it's a hazard, people are falling. You know, one day somebody's going to really have a bad fall for an elderly person and be fatalized.
No, we are.
Not necessarily like the MTA.
At least until you get to the public.
So that's, I guess, where my job steps in, and where they're being unresponsive to residents in the community, or the Daily News, or the Roosevelt Islander blog. I'm happy to do some follow-up. We had Winter Storm Hercules. I will say that outside of apparently Roosevelt Island, the city was above and beyond. There was a shortfall for Meals on Wheels, so we're actually delivering Meals on Wheels as a staff. There was a pipe that burst in the senior center on 80th Street. I was there with the OEM, the fire department, MTA, and making sure that we got the residents taken care of. OEM was able to work with the fire department so that they could shelter in place. We put a lot of red tape because otherwise 75 residents had to be evacuated according to the regulations. So in terms of, and we were also getting all sorts of places that there weren't being shoveled. So it's my job. When there's a winter storm, when there's ice, call my office, call Joe, because you're going to see him on the island. I promise you he'll be really responsive. He will write this down, we'll look into it, and we'll get right back to you about what's going on there. We will report in with you on our progress and make sure that the next snowstorm, we know exactly who's responsible for that area. So we will take that down. Anyone else have any other questions? Yes?
Hi, I'm Marshall from Westview. There's an affordability affordable housing issue raised in Hollywood. We're in negotiations supposedly with the owners to get out of this dilemma and move into an affordable ownership situation. The task force has been active for several years, and we have heard absolutely nothing for about a year from the owners. They made an offer which was clearly unaffordable to everybody. They won't negotiate. They stopped. Presumably they're waiting for something to happen. Well, they'll put the property prices to go up. They make a fortune, but they made a fortune already. So, they don't need any more money. We need our.
So
the city needs affordable housing.
So I think our best option is if you want to connect with Joe, he'll come over, get your information, we'll follow up with you, and we're happy to meet with you, we're happy to meet with other residents, and get involved. We know that Mishawama is a state issue. We're happy to work with Senator Serrano and others to make sure that the state is doing what it's supposed to there. And so Joe will come over right now and take your information. Just so you guys also know, we have, in addition to Joe, who I think is amazing, we have a social worker on my staff. And so their job is constituent service. And what that really means is, if any one of you knows somebody who's in need, and it could be most any need, the person is losing dramatic weight, and maybe they don't have enough money for groceries. Our first day on the job, we got somebody their SNAP benefits in 24 hours, which is it's the new name for food stamps. We were able to get them rush food stamps because they just didn't have enough money for groceries that day. So we can help with SNAP, we can help with SCREE, which is Senior Citizens Rent Increase Exemption. We can help with a lot of different things. She has a background with domestic violence, so we've got a social worker on staff, and she's here to help you and your neighbors and anyone who lives in the district. And even if they don't live in the district, we're still going to help them because we work for the residents of the city.
So where's she located at your office?
She's located at 244 East 93rd Street, and her name is Debbie Lightbody, and Lightbody, Lightbody. She is a social worker. Her specialty is making sure that you get your government services, and if you have needs, you can talk to her about them, and there may be things you don't even know you qualified for. And so and again, she was at RIRA Institute before she joined us, focusing on the domestic violence issues, so that's any violence in the homes, and I'm actually really proud and honored to be able to support the community in dealing with that. And something that we will be doing is at least monthly for now, and hopefully we'll be able to ramp that up more than just monthly. But Joe will be on the island with, at least Joe, if not with Debbie, doing global constituent hours. Something we talked about, which is you shouldn't have to come to us on 93rd and 2nd. We should be coming to you. So we'll be coming to you at least once a month. And if that's not good enough, we'll try to schedule personal appointments with people who have difficulty getting off the island, because our constituent services are going to be coming to you. And we actually elected a new speaker, and one of the things that we did it unanimously as a unified council, which was pretty amazing. We did a first democratic process. It used to be picked by county bosses, but we did a democratic process, and we did it in a unified way, so that was pretty spectacular to do. Any other last questions? Again, my number is 212-860-1950. Joe will always be at these meetings. I will try to make it as often as possible. Our goals are to keep being here, and I would promise to speak a little less next time, because I know brevity is most important.
I'm glad you came, because we sure have a lot of things to do.
Very good. Thank you, and please join us for the inauguration. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being here.